All right, welcome to JD Wrestling TV. It's been a while, guys, since I've released a full-length episode, but I got my boy from Snug Wrestling, Edgar, here today, so I figure, what the fuck? What are we gonna do? Let's just do it. So, I went to AEW past Wednesday, and I had an awkward interaction with a wrestler. And I brought Edgar here because I know he's had some awkward interactions with wrestlers in his life. I'm going to go ahead and tell my story first, and then we're going to see if we can pull Edgar's story out of him, too. What do you think, buddy?
Let's do it.
All right. So I was sitting in the stands and I had to pee, and this is probably mid Dynamite. So I tell the guy I brought with me, I'm like, hey, I'm going to go pee. And I wander down the stairs to the tunnel. The bathrooms are behind the tunnel. So I wandered down and I head out that way, and I turn the corner, and Pac is standing there with Wheeler Yuta. And there's a security guard. And so I think, okay, I stand for a second kind of in shock, because what do you do when you run into a shirtless wrestler, especially if you didn't pay money to meet him? I didn't know what to do. And this happens every time I meet someone famous or someone that I don't know that I'm supposed to talk to. I don't really know the protocols when it comes to meeting celebrities in public. It happened with Jimmy Hart as well, and it happens pretty much every time. Like, I don't know how to talk to people in public, especially people I don't know. So he didn't make eye contact with me, which is the first reason why I think I'm kind of in the wrong. Like, he never looked at me. He never broke stride. He didn't even come out of the mode of like, okay, I got a match coming up. He's in his head, right? So he never looks at me once. There's no eye contact. There's no verbal words spoken between me and Pac. I just tap him on the shoulder and I go, I fucking love you. Once again, he didn't look at me. He didn't break stride. He didn't look at me at all. There was no contact, no words, except for me telling a grown man that's shirtless that I love him.
Do you
So
think he was like in like full character mode at this point? Maybe.
he's a heel, so probably. But I also think that there's a line, and we talk about this a lot with people in airports that walk up to wrestlers and try to get autographs and shit. And it's weird. And I'm always the person that criticizes those people. Like, what an asshole. Like, why would you do that? And I, out of instinct, touch a naked, not naked, a shirtless wrestler's shoulder and tell him, again, a grown shirtless man, that I love him. I was wondering, am I in the wrong here? Like, is this me in the wrong? Should I not have approached him? Should I not have said anything? Or do you take the chances in life that you're given?
No, you definitely take the chances in life that you're given, dude. Especially if you're a paid um a fan in that arena. You paid to be there to, experience AEW. I don't think you're in the wrong at all here, dude. So like, do you think like if this was a WWE event, do you think like the security guards would have given you the same shit that they did in AEW?
I don't think I would have gotten there to that point in a WWE event. I think
Okay.
there's no scenario where they don't have the top row blocked off. I also think, like, at the end of the show leading into Rampage, I walked right by security and went to the front row to watch Rampage. Like, nobody stopped
Mm.
me. I just sat in someone's seats that wasn't there anymore. No one even thought about stopping me, which is the difference between AEW and WWE. Like, there is an accessibility in AEW that doesn't exist in WWE because WWE is so much larger. So I don't think in the world that we live in that I'm getting near a WWE wrestler like that, like, at all. I think they all come through the back. I don't think that exists, to be honest.
And you were the only guy that was like there at that time. Like no one else was around them,
Well,
like trying to
there
talk
was
to them.
another guy that came right behind me as I was exiting towards the bathroom. They let me through, and someone came through right behind me, and I looked at her over at him, and he goes, "Holy shit, that just happened." And I go, "Yeah." So there was one other person that didn't say anything because he's a respectable human being. He's gonna go. He'll never be remembered, though. That's the thing. I'm the only one that's gonna be remembered here. Like, somewhere in my mind, I know Pot got home or in the hotel or on a bus later, and he was like, "What a weird fucking guy."
I could have been. It could have been worse. You could have been like, "Hey, fuck you, Pac. You fucking suck," or something. You know.
Well, okay. So here's a couple reasons why I wouldn't have done that. So, for one, the most muscular shoulders I've ever touched in my life. Like,
Damn,
there's
that's true. He's
nobody
pretty buff.
more muscular I've ever put my hands on ever. Like, and I don't have a track record of putting my hands on muscular men. Like, I want to put that out there. Like, that's not something I do frequently. I'm not like, let me touch your shoulder, you know?
Not that there's anything wrong with that,
Yeah, there's
but
nothing wrong with that. I just don't have a history of walking up to shirtless people and touching their shoulders. So I think that like he is deceptively strong, and he looks strong, but he's also so short compared to everyone else. Like I had to have 6 inches on him, dude, and I'm like 6'1". I had to have him by
oh, we're
six
talking about
inches.
height, right? We're talking about height.
Height, yeah, he's so
Okay.
short, but he's huge in the idea of like muscles. So
Oh
like
yeah,
height, I got him by half a foot, but
you
like
can
he
take
was
him.
his no, 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 no.
No, okay.
His arms are the size of his thighs. Like he's perfectly proportioned. His legs are huge. His arms are as big or bigger. So he is like proportioned the right way where you can tell he never skipped arm day or leg day. I've skipped my entire life of going to the gym.
I have
So
one more question about this whole scenario. Do you think maybe he just was not happy to be standing next to someone as boring as Wheeler Yuta?
well, that being said, that's one of the reasons why I didn't say that to Wheeler Yuta, and I just said it to Pac. I had no conversation with Wheeler Yuta, and I also booed Wheeler Yuta when he came out. I didn't boo Pac. I like and respect Pac too much to boo him, but I don't have any problem booing Wheeler Yuta. I'm cool with that. So
Nice.
there's a respect issue. Like I said nothing to Wheeler Yuta at all, and I had the shot to do that as well. I could both of them on the shoulder. I don't think I would have been impressed by the muscle mass of Wheeler Yuta either. While I'm on
You probably would have broke his shoulder if you
it,
did.
Wheeler Yuta is injured for 3 weeks. Random fan touched his shoulder.
Told him he loved him. No,
He
dude.
just gets
It,
injured from love.
no, dude. I was gonna say I'm the same way. Like when it comes to like like running into famous people unexpectedly, like out of nowhere. I think you handled it really well. I mean, you're just a fan letting them know that you love them. Like I saw a video recently, just really quick, of this girl running into Ric Flair at a random bar, and this girl goes up to Ric Flair and says, "Hey, I don't know who you are, but my friend told me you're famous. Can I have a picture with you?" And I'm just like, "Oh, that's stupid." Like there's some
So
it could
I
have been
believe I've
worse.
seen this video. Did he tell her no? Didn't he tell her no?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So her big mistake is she tried to nag him. She tried to do
Mm.
what you do when you're trying to pick up a girl at a bar and you insult her before you try to pick her up. That's a bad
Mhm.
move. That's the wrong move. You don't walk up and say, "Hey, fatso, can I have your number?" That's not how it works. Like you just don't do
Mhm.
that. Like you're not going to walk up to a celebrity and say, "Hey, you're a celebrity, but I don't know you." Yeah, you can't do
Mhm.
that. That's a bad move.
Mhm.
She made a bad decision.
Yeah. So like yourself, when I had my awkward encounter with this said professional wrestler, Mick Foley, I was also a paying fan. It was a meet and greet. And I've done meet and greets before that have gone really well. Like Sammy Guevara was really cool. Um, Penta was cool, and like a few others. So I went into this Mick Foley one really confident because this is right after me meeting Kurt Angle, and Kurt Angle was super cool and nice. And not saying that Mick Foley wasn't nice, he was nice. He's just a naturally nice guy. But I felt like he could have been a little nicer because I paid a lot of money to meet him, get his autograph, and I figured I'm gonna shoot my shot here as a inspiring wrestling podcaster. I was like, "Hey Mick, uh, why don't you give me a shout out for my show? Just hey, this is Mick Foley, and you're listening to Snug Wrestling or something. Give me something, Mick. And he was like, "Nope, I can't do that. I can get in trouble for that." And I was like, "Well, Kurt did it for me." And he looked at me like, "Is this motherfucker really insisting right now?" I said no. He's like,
Was it the
I
double
can't do
down
that.
that pissed him off? Was he cool before the double down?
Yes, he was. He was cool. He was super cool. He was like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's your name? Nice to meet you. He was like, what package did you get? Because there was like different packages. Like if you get like a $50 package, you get a picture. 75, you get a picture and a photo and shit like that. He was very specific of the packages that people bought. Like he was personally checking your receipt and was like, okay, you get a picture. Okay, you get a picture and a photo, which I thought was weird because usually when you walk up there, the wrestler is like, fuck it, take like 10 pictures, I don't
Right.
care. Here's 3 autographs. I don't care, but Mick Foley was like, he was like really on it when it came to that. Um, I guess, he's a bigger star, so it makes sense. So we did that, and right before I left, I asked him for that favor, and he's like, listen, dude, no, I don't
Just just
know.
just so the people know, what was the favor? So they can make their own discretions about the situation, just like they did with mine. What was the favor?
I wanted him to give me a hickey on my neck. No, I'm just kidding. I I asked him to give me a shout out for my show, for him to say the name of my show, Snug Wrestling, and I like on a video or like on a
Yeah.
recording or something.
So anyone that's heard your show has heard the beginning where you use the Kurt Angle intro, and that's kind of the same idea, right? So it would have essentially been like, "Hey, this is the hardcore legend in Saco. Welcome to Snug Wrestling," which isn't the biggest deal in the world. And I also like hearing this story before. I know his response, and his response is so fucking funny. Like that's the
Yes.
part that makes this story so fucking funny. Is not that he was a dick with quotes around it, because I don't know that that's true. But didn't he say you could be a baby killer or something like that?
Yes. He's like, after like the third time of me like insisting in like the nicest way possible, he was just like, look, listen, dude, I don't know if you're like lighting babies on fire on your show. I don't know what your show's about. He's like, I can't do that. He's like, you could be killing babies on your show, and I'm over here putting my name on it. He's like, I can't do that. I'm like, well, I haven't killed any babies yet, Mick. And he's like, no, dude, I'm sorry, I can't. And
Says
that
the
was it,
man that
man.
sets himself on fire and dives off of a 40-foot cage. But no, no, he's not going to do that for you.
Nope, he's not. And never meet your heroes is what I say after
Poor
that.
Mick.
I was,
He doesn't
I was
deserve this.
poor Mick. What about me? I was heartbroken.
He's
Mick
just
is
trying to
getting
keep
paid.
it. He's just trying to
Yeah.
keep it snug, dude. He don't want his name on a bunch of baby killing podcasts.
So come listen to Snug Wrestling where we kill babies and light babies on fire, apparently, according to Mick.
That is such a classic, dude. So
So
what I want
which one
everybody
was
listening.
worse, mine or yours?
That's what I was going
I
to
think
say. What I want everybody listening to do is, first of all, tell us which one was worse, and then tell us if either one of us were in the wrong. Because I don't believe you were in the wrong either. Like, shoot your shot. You know what I mean? Like, what did Michael Jordan say? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? And you're
exactly.
obviously making a couple of these because Kurt's on the beginning of your show. You know what I mean? A certified legend and Hall of Famer in WWE. So it works some of the
Hmm.
time. I don't think people can really fault you for shooting your shot.
Hmm. And I
And the
think we
same goes
should.
for me.
I think we should set some goals for us. I think like in the next year or two, we should make it like a New Year's resolution or something. You should get Pac to say "I love you" back to you some way somehow, and I should get Mick Foley to give me my fucking intro.
Well, if I could get 200,000 likes, I will personally fly to wherever Pac is at and make sure that he tells me he loves me.
Bet that sounds like a plan to me.
Thanks for coming on the show. Go listen to Snug Wrestling, you filthy animals.
Later.